Now that's what I was waiting for, guys. What a game by the Jets. I don't think anybody had a bad game. Everybody looked like they were on their toes today. They beat the Blackhawks 4-0 in a pretty dominant win. I was really happy with this game. The Jets have had a bad habit for the last couple of years of losing to teams that they really shouldn't be losing to, like the Blackhawks. And today, that didn't happen at all. They asserted dominance right from the beginning, and they didn't play down to their competition. They came in, they didn't let them hang around or anything. The first period, Soderblom, I believe that's how you say his name, was really good in net and stoned the Jets on a couple of chances. However, in the second period, the Jets go on the power play. Josh Morrissey rings home his first of the year. The point leader for your Winnipeg Jets and maybe the most underrated defenseman currently in the league, Josh Morrissey. I'm really happy with how he's been playing, and I've been a big Josh Morrissey believer for years, even when people have been saying, in the past when he wasn't playing too well, being paired with Tucker Poolman and Sami Niku, people were saying we needed to trade this guy. That was never the case. He was just put in a really bad situation, and he's showing right now that he is a really good defenseman, and I'm really happy for Josh Morrissey. Later on in the period, the Hawks go to the power play. However, it's Adam Lowry scoring his second shorthanded goal of the year, making it 2-0 Winnipeg. Lowry's been a little bit of a monster on the PK this year. Obviously he's famous for that little forehand backhand tuck that he does. However, this one was a rocket on the PK, makes it 2-0. Still in the second period, Jets go back to the power play, and it's Kyle Connor over to Pierre-Luc Dubois, and just like that, it's 3-0 heading into the third period, and the Jets would add one more, as it would be Nate Schmidt scoring his second on the year from a disgusting feed from Cole Perfetti. I don't mean to overhype Cole Perfetti or anything, but he may be in the top 2% right now in terms of his vision in the NHL. It is absolutely elite. I'm so blown away by how he's able just to make that pass every single time. And he sets up Nate Schmidt with a wide open net. Beautiful pass, beautiful goal. And it's 4-0 Jets, and that's where it would end. The Jets win 4-0. Connor Hellebuyck picking up another shutout. 30 saves on the night. And what more can you ask for? Nobody had a bad game. Was really impressed with how they played. Obviously, they played pretty well against the Habs. They let them stay in that game a little bit. It did go to overtime, and the Jets won. I didn't feel like they totally took over that game, but it was far better than the games prior, like the one against Vegas and the one against Arizona. However, this game felt different. This game felt like the win against the Blues, where the Jets, completely took control of that game. And it showed in the scoreboard, 4-0 Jets. Prior to the Habs game, a big thing that was talked about was the lack of consistency with this team, and how they were winning wasn't sustainable. And in the last two games, more so the game against Chicago than the one against the Canadiens, if they keep playing like that and keep continuously playing good hockey, that is sustainable winning. The games, maybe the first 8 or 9 games of the year, those wins maybe take out the St. Louis one. All those other wins, you're not going to win a lot of hockey games like that with Connor Hellebuyck standing on his head all the time. But if you play the way you did against Chicago, and you can do that against better teams, maybe teams that are actually going to be fighting for the Stanley Cup this year, then you've got a case to be one of the better teams in the NHL. We'll wait to see how the rest of the season goes and how the Jets do play against better competition down the line. But I was really impressed with this game against Chicago, and I think they built off of the Habs win. They took another step in this one. So hopefully Tuesday against a really tough Dallas team, the Jets can take control and maybe do what they did against the Hawks here. This was obviously Jansen Harkin's first game of the year. He fills in for Dominic Toninato on the fourth line. And Kyle Capobianco, he comes in. I wasn't really, ever seeing this guy actually playing for the Jets coming into the year. But Dylan Sandberg gets pulled. Logan Stanley's hurt. So in goes Kyle Capobianco, and I thought he looked really good. Out of the three of those guys, Sandberg, Stanley, and Capobianco, I thought he played maybe the best game so far through 11 games out of all those guys. I was really impressed with how he was able to jump into the rush a little bit and play offensively, but not look too out of place defensively either. I think he made some really nice plays. defensively as well. Didn't really have any issues in his own zone with puck handling. When he was moving the puck, he was moving it confidently. I was really impressed with Kyle Capobianco. Harkins obviously went on a heater there with the Moose, scoring 5 goals in 5 games, so he got the well-deserved call-up. Didn't do a ton in this game. I felt like a lot of offense actually died on his stick in this game, just, maybe turning it over, trying to do maybe a little bit too much. But, that's the kind of thing that I worry about with Harkins, is he's too good for the NHL. He's not really a checker, so he doesn't fit on that checking line with Lowry and whoever else you want to put on there. And he probably isn't good enough to play in your top 6. So, really, I see him as a scoring 4th-line winger, but, obviously he's had trouble scoring at the NHL level. And he's a guy that works really hard, and I know everybody works hard in the league, but I just feel for the guy. There just doesn't seem to be a real solid spot for Jansen Harkins, and I think a move would really benefit him in his career. I just don't really see the opening on the Winnipeg Jets right now for him to succeed. But that's just my thoughts on the situation there. Overall, really good game by the Jets. Connor Hellebuck shutout. Everybody played really good today. Nate Schmidt had a nice bounce back game. He had a couple rough ones there. I'm happy that he kind of figured it out today. Scored a really nice goal from a really nice feed, as I talked about earlier. But that's where I'm going to leave it today, guys. The next game is against Dallas Stars on Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Central Time. Hopefully the Jets can keep this ball rolling and maybe beat the Stars. I believe if they win that game, they would be first in the Central. They are fighting with Dallas for first, so that'll be kind of cool. But that's where I'm going to leave it. Let me know down in the comments, what was your favorite part about the game? Who was your first star? Love to hear it. But yeah, I'm going to take off. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.